Hey there, this is Corey the Yard Buddha, and this is my front yard, which is mostly Kentucky bluegrass, probably like 80%, and then maybe a little bit of ryegrass and fescue mixed in there. But it is the middle of July here in Spokane, Washington, and we've had at least a month of 90+ days. And I do water this quite a bit, probably 4 times a week, maybe 25 minutes on each area. But the Kentucky bluegrass just isn't keeping up. I mean, kind of maybe in the shade where it's shaded by some of these trees, it's nice and green, and even back there underneath my blue spruce, it's nice and green. But where it gets baked out here in the middle is just getting toasty. And so what I am going to do is, in the fall here, or at least when it cools down a little bit, I'm going to reseed this with some turf type tall fescue, which is a little more drought resistant and can handle the sun. But right now I've had a lot of thatch problems. The previous owner would fertilize too much and water too much, and so there is a layer of thatch, especially in the middle part of the yard here, where it was watered too much. And I think that's contributing to the roots just not getting down there and being able to absorb the moisture that it needs to survive this heat. This is the seed I'm going to use, GCI turf type tall fescue. Here's the specs on it if you want to see. 3 different cultivars from Oregon. I live in Washington, so they've worked well in my backyard, so I think they can survive in my front yard. It says great for sun and shade, enhanced stress tolerance, dark green color, improved disease resistance. And then this is the normal fertilizer that I use on my front and back when I'm not seeding. It is Pro Rich by Rich Lawn, just basically chicken manure, 1425. But I am going to use some of this starter fertilizer when I put the new seed down, just because it has a lot more phosphorus to let the roots grow a little bit quicker. So I'll put a little bit of that down once I put the seed in, and we'll show you what it looks like with the dethatching. Alright, I'm about 2/3 the way through my dethatching process, and it's going good so far. This Still Yard boss is tearing stuff up nicely. There is probably a lot of good green grass that's coming up too, but it's okay. I need to thin this out just so that the seed can kind of get down in there. So trying to let it dry out a little bit, and then I'm going to scoop it all up with my Ego Select Cut mower, which I love. If you haven't seen my video and review on this thing is a boss. But I'm going to put this high lift upper blade, which I haven't used before, and it's supposed to create a whole lot more suction to suck up the grass and anything, leaves, anything else that you want. Normally I mulch, and so I use this lower blade is what you replace. You keep this upper blade on here, but this lower blade is the mulching gator blade, and so you just take off this lower one and put on that bad boy. You can see it's got a lot more surface area, so it sucks stuff up better. We'll try that out. I've done a couple passes here on this yard, and I am excited. I think I might not have to use the aerator attachment, because I've dethatched so much that those dead little patches here have actually gotten down to bare dirt. So once I suck everything up, I'll be able to see whether or not I need to dig down a little bit more. But I think just using this dethatcher is going to be fine. And then I can spread the seed, put a little compost down, and booyah. Okay, this is the final kind of cleanup that I'd done, taken out an entire bin of thatch out of here, and I think I'm going to just overseed. I don't think I'm going to use that aerator and try to dig up this dirt anymore. Most of these places have just gotten down to bare dirt. I don't think that coming over here with a bunch of tines is going to do that much more benefit. So I mean, you can see this was all kind of brown thatchy area here earlier, and now it's kind of been sitting out in the sun here for a little bit, so it's dried out, but it is down to dirt. So at least in these areas where it is a little more bare, I'm going to seed heavier than I am in the areas where the grass is still okay. So let's get this seed in a spreader and get it on here. Okay, I got my Scott's Elite spreader here full with 10 pounds of turf type tall fescue. I'm gonna put it down on the front. We've got about 1,500 square feet in the front, so it's about 7.5 pounds per thousand, which it said on the label use between 6 and 8 with existing lawn that just needs to be overseeded. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little more aggressively, and let's go spread this. All right, we're about a week and a half into my front yard project. Everything's starting to fill in really nice. Where it was bare over here by my driveway, and over here starting to see a lot of new growth. So this seed popped up really quick, probably within 4 or 5 days, I'd say. So this is what it's looking like at about the end of August right now. Maybe we'll do a check-in here when everything fills in. There's still some pock marks and stuff from this side, you can definitely tell, but in all those holes the grass is starting to grow in and fill out. I'm got high expectations for this, so we'll check in at the very end. All right, one final checkup here on my front yard reseeding project. It's the middle of September here, and everything has pretty much filled in nicely. It's probably about 2 or 3 weeks from the last time that I showed this, and so everything is nice and fluffy. Still a few kind of clumpy, uneven parts in there, but I think that's still due to the kind of the thatch problem that I had. So I do plan on doing another light reseeding here in the springtime. I've got some extra seed left, but compared to what it looked like this summer, I think I will take it. It's looking much more zen. So thank you guys for watching this. Give me a subscribe, and we'll see you later.